Hi all, this is Dr. Sage Breslin and this is Wisdom Wednesdays. So, one of the things I hear a lot of, both in my practice and online, is, it wasn't that bad. It is one of those phrases that just sort of makes my skin crawl, because it's so minimizing. I'm all for somebody saying, in comparison to somebody else's trauma, this one appears to have been less intense. But for me, it still created issues. That's like acknowledging that it's had whatever impact it's had. Even if it didn't rise to, again, the level of intensity. If somebody was a POW versus somebody being locked out of their house, context is everything. And you might say, well, there's no comparison. Well, there doesn't need to be. It can still generate symptoms. It just depends on the person's background, their history, their training, their education, the level at which they could predict the thing was going to happen, their preparedness, all of those things, right? So I want to kind of go back to this issue of he wasn't that bad. She wasn't that bad. I'm using a global he here, not because all narcissists are he's. They're not, but just to make my language a little simpler. So, the notion that somebody isn't that bad or didn't behave that badly doesn't mean they didn't have narcissistic tendencies. I'll have people say to me, I've looked up in the DSM-5 and my boss doesn't meet all the criteria to be a narcissist. Okay, first of all, what are you doing? We're really talking about you and your symptoms. We're not really talking about whether you can prove your boss is a narcissist. Okay, but whatever, right? And so what we look at is all of the would-be narcissists, the pseudo-narcissists, right? The folks who have narcissistic tendencies or traits. And if I told you that, you weren't in a car accident, even though your car was struck, maybe moving slowly, and nobody was injured, and you say to me, well, I didn't have a car accident. Well, no, that's not a fact. You did have a car accident. You can claim that you weren't physically injured. You can acknowledge that you may have had, emotional after effects, whatever, right? It happened. Okay, so when you are even, maybe you have a coworker or a family member who maybe doesn't meet all the criteria to be a narcissist, but they have those traits, they have those tendencies, they still gaslight, right? They still cause you to feel like you're less than, that you're not doing it right, that you're the problem. All of those things that narcissists accomplish, a person with narcissistic tendencies can accomplish. And you may say, but the person I'm married to has a good relationship with the children. It's just with me that he acts out. Okay, well, maybe he has had past experiences or family experiences that have left him really struggling in the area of relationship, especially intimate relationship, where there is like an accountability to the other person. But when it comes to children, that connection, that filial connection, that loyalty, that love actually does win out. Okay, now, maybe doesn't meet the criteria for a toxic narcissist, right? But can they still have an impact on you? Yes. So for those of you who are out there and have experienced poor behavior from folks with even narcissistic tendencies, just remember, here's the wisdom for the day. Be gentle with yourself. Acknowledge what happened to you. Acknowledge what happened for you. Acknowledge the symptoms that may have arisen as a result. And the rest about proving or documenting, let's just leave that to the professionals. This is Dr. Sage Breslin, and this is Wisdom Wednesdays. Have a great day.